Alright, y'all, welcome back to y'all Sports Basketball Podcast. Where I'm your host, Steve, and tonight, start of the playoffs. Some of the teams have already eliminated, but we got some teams that are still in to fight for a state championship. But first, let's look at Week 11, see what we got. We're going to be starting with the teams that either I will not be covering this week due to them traveling to a North team, or the fact that they are eliminated from the playoffs. So let's start with Heritage first, who is eliminated from the playoffs this year. They did beat Union County, respectable game. Obviously, good way to end the season for Heritage. Really needed it to get on to next season. High hopes for Heritage moving forward in the 4A level. So we'll see what they can do in the future. Next up is Hardin Valley, and in one of these scenarios, where a team that's eliminated because another team won, that's what happened to Hardin Valley. While they did beat Ottawa, which is their 5th win of the season, their first winning record in a while, they will not be going to the postseason, as it's all about fair to hear very soon. What happened in that game did not go well in Hardin Valley's favor, so therefore they are eliminated from the playoffs. And the good news is for Hardin Valley, this is a step forward, so obviously, if they are able to keep this momentum going on the next season, they may be a playoff contender in the future. So we'll see what happens to Hardin Valley, but things are looking good for them. Up next is William Blount, and this is really a shocker team that's not making the playoffs. They did lose to West in order for that to be happening. However, William Blount finished strong with a win over Able County at their place. It's a huge travel from Blount County to Able County, so huge win for William Blount there. Looking forward to next season for the Governors, and of course, a win on a high note. Always a great way to end the season for William Blount. And finally, last team on the elimination list, we have Bearden. So, honestly, I don't know what happened to Bearden that got them to lose all 9 of their games this season, except for West. That game was canceled. But, I'm considering this may be the worst fall off in the history of the Tennessee Secondary Athletic Association, or the TWSAA, football wise. As you've never seen a team win 9 games in one season, lose 9 the next, and not win 1. I don't know the last time that has happened, but it's all because of the transfer rule and all the coaching changes and all that stuff. Everyone transferred out, new coaching staff, It was depressing for Bearden and, their fans, and they didn't win a single game. And they were very close to doing that against Farragut, but lost at the very end. And they end the season off of a loss, typical, 44-6 to Bradley Central, to end the season for Bearden. And sadly, my career at Bearden is also over, but I do have one thing in question about Bearden. What are they going to do next season? I already heard they're keeping their coach. So, same coaching staff for next year, most likely. Maybe a bit of changes. And you'll also think the class of 2030, so don't know if that'll help Bearden. You're not getting the players that you used to get, but you're still going to get more of that class than the juniors and the seniors of this year and the sophomores of this year as well. You're going to get more, so you're going to get the rise up to like 80 people in the team. And obviously depends if they do more off-season stuff. Like, this year, they only did like 2 7-on-7 tournaments, and those were both harder. And a 7-on-7 actually is hopeful. They also played a freeway scrimmage in South Florida and Webb at home. Alongside that, traveling to Austin East. That's all they really did this offseason. If you could compare the team like Halfwit, who had a spring game against themselves, and Beard didn't have a spring game, and had plenty of major 7-on-7 tournaments and national levels. They had the Tennessee 7-on-7 tournament with a bunch of nationally talented teams, alongside the Powell 7-on-7, which Bearden had last year. It's a whole lot different for Bearden. As Abbott had all these major tournaments, Bearden did not. I only had to face, harder, all that stuff, But Looking forward to see what Bearden has next season. I won't be there to do any football games next season, so you're probably going to see Wes Bearden highlights and more of what I have coming up. As I'm either going to halfway Powell, which is a North team, Clinton and North City. Both of those teams may soon be added on the West Channel. Of course, I thinking about Clinton just to replace Oliver Springs. As Oliver Springs, I've usually covered all this year. Oliver Springs has never covered or never played it as a West team, and it's just a standalone coverage of Oliver Springs. While Clinton, they're playing against all these teams in the North and West Channel. I'm thinking about adding them. And North City, I heard about some coaching changes with them as well, with Knoxville athletes, so I may think about adding them as well. End up checking on 5-star preps for that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Bearden. Up next, we got Oliver Springs, and this is the start, week 12, the playoffs. Oliver Springs did not get the win over Caulfield, obviously, to finish the regular season 6-4. Of course, still got the playoffs ahead of them. But you'll never know what Oliver Springs can do, especially, this season, where they lost to Lockwood and Midway in the same season. But, disappointing finish to the regular season. They went, I believe, 9-1 or 8-2 last year. But I think they're still going to make a pretty good win in the playoffs. And yeah. But yeah, they're going to be a travel team. They're going to travel to North Green. And I have no idea what they're doing right now. But to say the least, as I said, you'll never know what Oliver Springs can do. It's the playoffs. Strange things can happen. So I thought Oliver Springs would win this game on the road. But we'll see who they play next. Up next, we'll talk about Maryville and Oak Ridge. I have no idea why I put this name with Game of the Week. Like, game-wise, as this game ended 34-0 Maryville in the most anticlimactic way ever. I mean, it's surprising how a region championship and end up like this. Like, Oak Ridge had a chance to beat Maryville at their place. And Maryville said, nah, we're going to shut you out 34-0. Like, what in the world was that? And now, Oak Ridge, they're just going to have to host us a 2 seed. Maryville's the region champs. And, of course, can't be a Maryville game without them having to play Westridge. Hosting Westridge for Maryville. No surprise there. Westridge was the 4th seed in that region. And I think no surprise there, Maryville's going to win that. And I have no idea what's going to happen playoff-wise as this new playoff bracket, playoff format. All I know, they could travel to Oakland early. But we'll see what happens. As for Oak Ridge, they host Science Hill. A harder opponent than you can usually play. But just be lucky you don't have to play Dobbins Bennett. I'm pretty sure that if you were to face Dobbins Bennett, things would not be good for you. Nah, just kidding, y'all beat them at home before. But, Science Hill is another opponent. But I think you're going to win this game. I think Oak Ridge is going to get it done. Based on what they did against Dobbins Bennett, I think Oak Ridge will do just fine. And now the reason why Hardin Valley was eliminated from the playoffs, Farragut found a way to beat Cleveland. Shot her work. Farragut won a football game. They have won their 3rd of the season, I believe. And they have somehow made the playoffs. With 3 region wins. Yep, all 3 of their wins are in the region. So pretty surprising for Farragut to be in, even though Hardin Valley had a better overall record than them. But now Farragut has to travel to Dobbins Bennett. And if you know, last year, Dobbins Bennett beat Farragut at Dobbins Bennett. I was there. I won't be there this year, though. I'll most likely be at Powell or something. I'm not traveling all the way to Memphis. Knoxville Athletic. But yeah, Farragut's not beating Dobbins Bennett. You've seen Dobbins Bennett won the region championship in Science Hill. I can't see Farragut winning that game. They'll be eliminated at Dobbins Bennett once again. Up in the next is West High School. They hosted Powell on Thursday night on TV. And that honestly seemed like a more exciting game than Oak Ridge Maryville. Powell won 15-3. West is going to travel, but they did good this season. They made the playoffs. Didn't miss it. While this may be a down year, it's still a good year for West. And they got some high hopes ahead. And we'll see what they can do next week at the Sevier County. Said Sevier County, so that'll be covered on the North Channel. And last week we talked about Hoa. We talked about this game right here for the playoffs. Last week they played at Anderson County. Surprisingly lost that game. I have no idea what happened on that game, but now we covered more on the North Channel. So Hoa, as usual, they're hosting. And they host Cherokee. So that's honestly in the same scenario as Maryville hosting Westridge. Alcoa is probably going to win this game pretty easily, despite the loss to Anderson County. It's always with Depston for the Tornadoes and all that stuff. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. This is the Dallas Sports Pass Podcast West. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to North Channel 2. Your host, Steve, signing out.